Hi everyone, it's Tammy Mastroberte with Elevated Existence. And today I want to talk to you about a universal problem that we all have and we all deal with. That is unexpected challenges. No matter how much we plan, no matter how much we co-create, no matter how much we manifest, we are all subject to these unexpected challenges that pop up in our lives. And we all are trying to live a more elevated life. And when you are living a more elevated life, it is, we're learning to co-create with spirit and we're learning to create the life that we want. But uncertainty is a given in life no matter what. There's always uncertainty. There's always, and that causes more fear, I think, for people than anything else, okay? So, and I'm sure you're probably agreeing with me right now that it, when we don't know what's coming next, that's a fearful thing. But what I can tell you is we all will have these unexpected challenges. What makes it different for one person, from one person to the next, or from an elevated perspective to a not an elevated perspective, is how we deal with those unexpected challenges, how we respond to those unexpected challenges. So what do I mean by an unexpected challenge? An unexpected challenge can be something huge and something small. So it can be the death of a loved one. It could be a diagnosis of an illness or even just a stomach flu. It could be something where you have to move unexpectedly and now, your job or your partner's job is causing you to move, or a friend and family member has to move. It could be the loss of money in some way, the loss of a mortgage that you are trying to get. You're trying to take a test and get certified in something and you're not passing the test for some reason. There's a numerous amounts of things, or little things like dealing with traffic, or, that's now going to make you late for work, or you're getting ready to board a flight either to somewhere amazing or home from somewhere amazing, and your flight gets delayed. All of these things are unexpected challenges, and we all have to deal with them. And again, some of them are huge and some of them are small. But I want to share with you sort of an elevated way of dealing with this stuff when it comes across your path. So the first thing that I find when something unexpected happens, right? What is the first thing you do? You fight against it. You think this can't be happening. Or I can't believe this is happening. What did I do in a former life to deserve this? Why am I going through this? This I'm not going to accept this. This can't be happening. And we complain about it. And we spend all this time kind of just rehashing and going over it, when the first thing we really need to do is to accept it. We just need to take 60 seconds and say, this is happening. I don't know why this is happening. I know that the universe doesn't make mistakes. I know this is going to lead me somewhere, but this is happening. And so once you accept that it's happening, you can move on to the other steps and start kind of feeling better about it. So the first step is just accepting that I don't know why, but this is happening, and I can choose how to respond to it, and I can choose what to do about it. So that's the first thing. The second thing I want you to do is when an unexpected challenge comes your way, I want you to reframe it right away. Instead of even referring to it as a challenge or an issue or a problem, I want you to start looking at everything as an opportunity. So it's not a challenge, it's an opportunity I'm faced with. Why do I say that? Because everything that we deal with in life is an opportunity for us to respond in another way. An opportunity for us to choose love instead of fear, no matter what. Now that's not always easy, but everything in life is giving us that opportunity. And so I want you to accept, and then I want you to reframe it as an opportunity, and know that there are gifts in every opportunity. Hardships are often leading us to something better. And there's two quotes I want to share with you that totally reminds me of this, and that I want you to kind of fall on when something crazy happens to you. So the first one is actually from the British author C.S. Lewis, and something that he actually said and wrote was that hardships often prepare ordinary people for extraordinary things. Think back for a minute right now of something horrifying that happened to you. but led you somewhere that you needed to go. For me, I always think back to my mother's death when I was 22 years old. It was sudden. It was 3 days after Christmas, a brain aneurysm. No expectation of that, no sign of that beforehand. But her death at 22 launched me into understanding more about my life and about this world that we live in. It brought me to a medium. It made me realize that life doesn't end with the human body. And it brought me here right now talking to you. So, unexpected challenges often prepare ordinary people for extraordinary things. And I want you to try and remember that next time you're in the moment and you're like, what in the world is going on, right? Another one is Napoleon Hill, who's the famous author of Think and Grow Rich and so many other different books and ideas. And he really talks about how to create your life and bring about things and manifest things. And the quote that I want to share with you from him is, every adversity that we face, so you want to call it an adversity, a challenge, a hardship, every adversity has the seed of an equivalent or greater benefit. So in other words, every challenge that you face has a seed within it of something greater coming out of it. Even the little things that you face every day, because we always have a choice on if we're going to respond in a positive or a negative way. So you're going to accept that the challenge is happening, and then you're going to reframe it. It's not a challenge, it's an opportunity. And remember those two quotes. The next step is, I want you to remind yourself that there's always a solution. Wayne Dyer wrote a whole book called There's a Spiritual Solution to Every Problem. And there really is always a solution. We can't often see it when we're in the midst of the chaos of an issue or a problem, but there is always a solution. And I want you again to go back and think of a time when you were in the midst of chaos of something, but you found the solution. And the solution brought you to a place that was more amazing than you could have ever thought possible. I have so many examples of this in my life. I gave you the example of my mother passing away and it leading me to do what I was meant to do here. There's so many things in life where we're hit with something, whether it's a loss of a job or whether it's the end of a relationship, and it takes us to an amazing place. And sometimes we can't see the solution, we can't see that action step right now, but if we accept it and we reframe it and we remember, I've had solutions to problems before, we can relax and find a little bit of certainty in this uncertainty that we are stewing in at the moment when we're dealing with an unexpected challenge. So remind yourself that there's always a solution. The last two pieces are simple. I just did a whole video on calling in elevated help or elevated reinforcements. So once you accept it and you reframe it and you remind yourself there's a solution, I just want you to stop, take 60 seconds and say a prayer for help. Say, I don't know what the solution is, but I know that you do. And call in your angels and your guides, your loved ones on the other side. Call in spirit and say, please send me signs and synchronicities. Please lead me where I need to go. I'm trusting in you. I know you've led me to the right places before in my life. Just take a few minutes to do that. And then the last step is really just taking action. Figuring out what action is best to take. And sometimes that means not taking any action. Sometimes that means there's nothing I can do about this right now except try to make myself feel better, which was what all those other steps are about. And then knowing that your elevated help is going to send you in the right direction and you will have the strength to take action when that action is presented in front of you and when you know what you need to do. Now, obviously, bigger problems, this is something that's really, really important. Smaller problems, you can kind of do this in a quick version in your head. You know, if your flight is delayed, maybe there's a reason your flight is delayed, and you kind of go through that. So it's just really almost like a quick 5-step process that I wanted to share with you because it's something we all deal with. And we're getting into the holiday season as I'm recording this right now. But no matter what, we're always faced with these unexpected things. And if you approach it from a more elevated level, then you feel better about it. And when you feel better about it, the solutions can come in. So I hope that helps you as always. And always remember to call in that elevated help. I will link somewhere here to the other video on that as well in case you missed that. And I wish you a beautiful and elevated week.